Hey guys, it's Moselle, and today I'm not doing a patrol, I'm just kinda driving around in a police car. So, LSPDFR, I have my PC upgrade, and I want to start making LSPDFR videos. I'm having some trouble installing vehicle mods. This is PS4 gameplay because, again, I'm having some trouble with the game, so yes, there's an update on that. But I haven't uploaded in 3 weeks. So, that's a sign I need to start uploading again, hence this video. Okay. So, I'm making a fucking rant on this fucking kid at my school, because I need to get this shit off my chest. And before you think, oh, he has shit on his chest, no, I didn't mean that literally. I did not participate in the Cleveland steamroller type thing. Don't Google that. Do not Google that. Okay. Anyways, where was I? Okay, yeah. So this is PS4 gameplay. I'm making a rant on a stupid kid at my school. Okay. Now, let's get right into it. So, okay, so, first things first, there is this know-it-all kid at my school. Now, if you're watching this video and you're from my school, you most likely know who that is. There's a know-it-all kid from my school, and, just by those couple of words, by that single sentence, you can automatically tell who it is. If you're from my school, of course. Yeah, so, there's a know-it-all kid at my school, and, he thinks that he knows everything, and he tries to explain what he knows. But, there's one caveat, and that is that he doesn't know everything. He actually doesn't know shit, okay? Warning, there's some strong language in this video, okay? So click off now if you don't want that. Anyways, also I don't know what I'm doing for background gameplay. I just kind of need something to be able to use and get good audio from. So, there is this kid in my school. He's a know-it-all, and he tries to explain the things that he knows, except he doesn't actually know. He doesn't actually know everything. So, it's pretty toxic that way, if you ask me, because it's pretty toxic that way, if you ask me, because he tries to explain something that he doesn't know, and he makes it seem like he does know, okay? So, I'll give examples of all of this, too, but then he spreads that false information on to other people, and it's so terrible. Anyways, so I'm making a rant on him because he went into a subject that I obviously do a lot of on this channel, which is police stuff. So, yeah, so, basically, okay, so I was in class, and the kid sits right behind me, let's call him Fuckwad, okay? So Fuckwad sits right behind me, and, okay, so fuckwad sits right behind me, and so randomly, in the middle of class, okay, it's a work period, so no one's, so the teacher's not really talking, but in the middle of fucking class, he just goes, "Oh, how much do you bet so and so, which would be me, is gonna be a professional failure?" Like, that is one fucking creative insult, dude. Okay? Professional failure is what he called me. How much do you want to bet so and so is gonna be a professional failure when I'm older or whatever he said. Oh my god. Professional fucking, do you know? Okay. Um I'm not going to yell at this point because this makes me super mad by itself. But he goes on to say, or somehow we get into the conversation of me getting into law enforcement, and he's like, "Oh, well, I wanted to be a cop before too." Um, and then he says that he currently wants to be an engineer or some shit. Um, did that guy just rip off the whatever? Um, he says he wants to be an engineer. So I ask, what police department did you want to apply for? And he gets super confused by this, okay? He doesn't understand. It's like I'm talking some foreign language right now. What police department did you want to get into? And he's like, what? Uh, he's like, what what department of engineer? What? Like, no, I said police department, not fucking engineer, okay? Already, you can tell he's a moron, okay? Moron is the nicest way of putting it, dude, okay? So, he's already super confused by this, and then I ask, what police department, okay, law enforcement department, whatever, do you want to get into? And then he's like, oh, okay. He's like, well, I wanted to be a general traffic officer. It's like, I asked you what fucking police department, not what fucking rank you wanted to get up to, okay? Um, and then, uh, and then, uh, somehow we get into the conversation. Oh, so, okay, so my friend is in the conversation too. He's kind of listening at this point, so he's, uh, we keep talking about what police department this moron wants to get into, this fuckwad, like we called him earlier, and he still doesn't. It's like he can't grasp the. He can't understand the concept of a police department. So he's like, I want to be a general traffic officer, and then I explain what a police department is. There's like, okay, well, okay, so what police department did you want to be in or get into? And so I explain what it is. Okay, there's a police department which is in one city that the school is in, and then there's a separate police department for a separate city that I live in. I mean, they're two small cities pretty close to each other, right? and then I'm like, well, there's a sheriff that covers the county, and that is in the other city that the school is also in. I'm just kind of basically I'm just explaining the basic concept of a police department. There's two separate cities. They have separate police departments that are not tied to each other. They may interact with each other for investigations, but they're not tied to each other, and any way whatsoever besides being affiliated with law enforcement, right? So, with being police departments, right? So, I explained that, and then I explained that the sheriff covers the entire county, right? As I would, because he doesn't seem to fucking understand what a what a police department is. So I'm explaining this. I'm like, yes, the sheriff covers the county, and he covers all the little corners and whatever is inside of the county, right? So, um, so I explained that, and then he's like, no, I want to become a general traffic officer. And I'm like, a general traffic officer in what department? And he still doesn't understand it. And so he's like, okay, well, yeah, after I become a general traffic officer, then I want to get ranked up to sheriff. Hold on, okay? Hold the fuck up. Now, what I'm assuming he's talking about is a normal police department, right? He's just a city-wide police department, right? Not a sheriff's office or sheriff's department. A city police department, okay? I'm assuming that he's talking about that. And he's like, I want to become a general traffic officer, and then, or I wanted to become a general traffic officer, and then get ranked up to sheriff. I'm like, okay, um, that's not gonna work. Okay, so this guy's a know-it-all. Um, if you try to argue with him, it is he will instantly turn the conversation into something that you cannot even argue about because it's so fucking frustrating, okay? Okay, and then, so I'm like, in my head, I'm just thinking about how if you're in a normal police department, you cannot fucking get ranked up to a sheriff. First of all, you cannot get ranked up to a sheriff normally, to my knowledge. It doesn't work like that. You have to run in an election because you represent the law enforcement of the county, right? So you have to run in an election between multiple people and try to get elected as the sheriff of the county. To my knowledge, this is how it all works in my mind, right? And then with a normal police department, you can't just file it in and request that you get put in the sheriff division. It doesn't work like that. The sheriff division doesn't exist in a normal citywide police department, right? It's it's laughable right now. It's I don't know how to explain it other than the way I already did explain it. You know what, and I feel like if he did become a police officer, or if he got into law enforcement somehow, then he'd be one of those officers that just rambled over the radio constantly, like, oh yeah, so I'll be out on a blue four-door sedan. It'll be occupied times four. I might need some additionals. Roll them code 3 out to my location. Also, I had a great sandwich yesterday. I mean, I know yesterday was Sunday and all, but I had a great sandwich. And me and the wifey, yeah, we both went out and went out for a drink, and then yeah, we had this great milk, or I rather had this great milkshake, and it was just so luscious. It was just this luscious, cloudy, just great milkshake, right? And okay, so he's saying all this over the radio, and meanwhile there's shots fired and there's a pursuit going on. That's what I feel like he'd do, and the type of person I feel like he would be if he did get into law enforcement. That light took forever. Anyways, that's who I feel like he'd kind of be. I feel like he'd be a radio hog. You know, like, it's the joke that a cop is a pig or whatever, and but a radio hog is someone who transmits for too long over the radio. Like, they because when someone is talking over the radio, to my knowledge, no one else can talk over the police radio until that one guy is finished. Okay, so that I'll put in a clip right here. Okay, okay, that's like a little cartoon about what I mean, I'm positive that it's happened in real life to someone, but as far as I can tell, that little clip didn't actually happen, to my knowledge. I mean, somewhere it probably did, but that would be a coincidence. So yeah, I feel like he'd be a radio hog, and I feel like he'd clog up the transmissions of the scanner, basically. So yeah, I'm getting a headache just thinking about this, dude. So yeah, so he thought that with a normal citywide police department, you could file in to become a sheriff, and then, well, if you're good enough, supposedly you could file in and become a sheriff. That's not how it works at all, to my knowledge. In America, at least in the state that I live in, that is not how it works. There's a sheriff's department, and that covers the county, and that is completely separate from the citywide police departments, right? And then, you don't even get ranked up to be a sheriff. You have to be elected by the people of the county to be the sheriff. To my knowledge, at least, for the state that I live in. For the county that I live in, that's how it works, from what I understand. Okay? But this fuckwad thought you could go into a citywide police department and become a sheriff. I mean, yeah, if you wanted to become a sheriff, you'd have to get transferred over. You'd have to apply to get transferred over to the sheriff's office, and then from my knowledge, you'd still have to become a deputy first, right? I don't know. This is just something on my mind, and I had to get it off my mind. Also, I had to upload something because it's been 3 fucking weeks, and I apologize for all of the curse words in this video and etc. But still, I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm pissed off, okay? So please just understand where I'm coming from, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's been Mavzel, and peace. LSPDFR videos coming soon, once I can get ELS. I might not have ELS installed for the first video. It really doesn't matter that much to me, but there's a mod like it that it's very, very similar to it, just doesn't allow you to. It only allows you to control the sirens, not the specific lighting patterns, although in ELS I mainly just used 1 or 2 different patterns. Anyway, so it doesn't matter that much to me. Siren Mastery by Albo is the one I'm talking about. That makes it a lot like ELS, but doesn't allow you to control the patterns. Anyways, only PC guys will really understand that last part. But, yeah. It's been Mavzel. LSPDFR videos are coming soon. This is just kind of a filler video, just something to upload. Something to update you guys on. And, hey Vsauce, Michael here. Peace.